The art of intentional silence, finding strength in the unspoken. In a world that never stops talking, silence feels uncomfortable. People fear it. They rush to fill it. They mistake it for weakness. But this story is about a man who discovered that silence, when chosen deliberately, can be the loudest form of strength. Part 1. The noise around him. Arav was not weak. He was not shy. He was not afraid. But people often misunderstood him. At work, meetings were loud. Everyone fought to be heard. Ideas overlapped. Voices competed. When someone criticized Arav unfairly, people expected him to react. But he didn't. He listened. He observed. He stayed quiet. And that silence made others uncomfortable. Some colleagues whispered, "He has no confidence. Why doesn't he defend himself? He doesn't know how to speak up." They didn't know the truth. Arav was choosing silence. Part 2. Silence is not fear. Years ago, Arav was different. He used to explain himself to everyone. He argued. He defended. He reacted to every comment. And every reaction drained him. The more he spoke, the less peaceful he felt. One night, exhausted, he sat alone and asked himself, "Why am I always explaining my worth to people who are not listening?" That question changed him. From that day, he decided something simple but powerful. I will speak when it matters, and stay silent when it doesn't. That was the beginning of intentional silence. Part 3. The strength of pausing. One day at work, a senior colleague blamed Arav for a mistake that wasn't his. Everyone waited. The room was silent. Arav felt the urge to interrupt, to argue, to prove. But he paused. He looked around. He noticed facts people ignored. He let the senior finish talking. Then, calmly, he said just one sentence. "May I show the data before we conclude?" No anger. No long explanation. Just clarity. The truth spoke louder than arguments. The room shifted. That day, people didn't remember how loudly Arav spoke. They remembered how composed he was. Part 4. Silence in relationships. Intentional silence was not only about work. In relationships, Arav learned something harder. Not every argument needs a reply. Not every emotion needs immediate words. Once, someone close to him said something hurtful. Old Arav would have reacted instantly. New Arav did something else. He stayed quiet, not to punish, but to understand. He gave space. He allowed emotions to settle. Later, when he spoke, his words were gentle but firm. And that conversation healed more than shouting ever could. Part 5. Silence as self-respect. There were times Arav walked away without explaining. People called it ego, but it wasn't. It was self-respect. He learned this truth. You don't owe everyone access to your thoughts, energy, or peace. Silence protected him from unnecessary battles. It saved him from proving himself to people who had already decided not to understand. Part 6. The difference people miss. But here's the balance most people forget. Intentional silence is not permanent silence. Arav did speak when values were questioned, when boundaries were crossed, when truth needed a voice. The difference was timing. He didn't speak from emotion. He spoke from clarity. And because of that, when he spoke, people listened. Part 7. The quiet power. Over time, something strange happened. People stopped interrupting Arav. They waited for his response. His silence created weight. His words gained value, not because he spoke more, but because he spoke less, but better. He had mastered something rare, the ability to stay calm in a noisy world. Ending. A message for you. If you are quiet, this story is not telling you to stay silent forever. And if you are loud, this story is not telling you to stop speaking. It is teaching balance. Speak when your voice adds value. Be silent when your peace needs protection. Because silence is not empty. It is full of awareness, control, strength. And when used intentionally, silence becomes power. Final line. Strong closing. Not everything needs a response. Some things need understanding. And some moments need silence. Chosen, not forced.